Number one is settings. Settings are pretty customizable depending on who you are. Like how for example, weapon position, I mainly use right because I'm more used to right, but I can sometimes use middle for cyber grind. I mostly use left for the first fight with V2, but most of this stuff is pretty customizable. I have zero screen shake on because the screen shake hurts my eyes a lot. Parry flash because because I don't want to be flash banged every time I punch or do anything that causes it. Field of view doesn't really matter. I just did 115 because that fits my perimeter perfectly. Look sensitivity also doesn't matter. Completely customizable. Most of the stuff is customizable, but these are all my settings. If any of you guys are wanting to know what my settings are. Controls are pretty important, especially if you want to do the things that I mostly do. So like all of this you can keep, I guess. Obviously WASD for movement, dodge, well to dodge. Slide is C, jump is space, primary fire, secondary fire. Change variant is control because I don't use control. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Uh, I have side buttons on my mouse, so I mainly recommend this if you have side buttons. Next weapon, previous weapon, I don't need. Punch, and the reason why punch is P because I don't need punch. The reason why I change fist is O because I don't need to change my fist. Because I have F as my feedbacker and G as my knuckle blaster, and of course R as my hook. But these are mainly up to you, but these are just my keybinds if any of you guys want them for future tutorial things. I may use my keybinds if I'm giving any, like, control examples, but if anything, that's all you really need to know about controls. Uh, the HUD settings are completely optional. Because, like, when it comes to weapon icon, like, I already know what weapon I'm holding, I'm not blind. The arm icon could be helpful to see the last time you used, like, what arm you used last, but that's why I don't really need it. You can keep all of these in because you know you're not gonna memorize the time, or if you are, if you're God. I don't actually know what background opacity does, but I'm probably not gonna. But I don't really like fiddling around with this type of something. And yeah, that's really it for UHD. There's not really a lot to say about it. When it comes to coins, you can basically do anything with it. You can hit it with almost every weapon, and I'm not going to list out all those weapons because that's going to take way too long. You can do so much with coins. Obviously, I'm just going to be going over some of the basics and a little bit, some advanced stuff. The things we are going to go over will be listed on screen, of course. And part one of this is obviously going to be rail coining because, well, it's like the easiest one to do, in my opinion. So there are two ways to rail coin. You have stationary, where you're standing still. This version is very similar to mobile. It's just that you just gotta move a little bit. So as you're backing up, run at them, and boom. Next up is coin punching. Coin punching is actually surprisingly pretty easy. It's really simple to do. What you want to do is you want to back up, then you want to back up, toss a coin, back up, toss a coin, then move forward, back up, toss a coin, and then at the end just add a punch. With core sniping, you really only need good aim. I prefer you practice with the different lengths the core snipe will go, because you know, the more you hold it down, the more farther it will go. But you can mainly only practice with this one. I can't really give any advice. Rock Ride is incredibly simple once you actually break it down. You can only refresh your rocket once, which is basically like when the rocket starts to slowly fall down, you can only refresh it once, and then the rest will just continuously fall down, shorter and shorter. You can also do this method at any time. Even if you down slam, you can still do this. It's very, very, very easy. It's just freeze frame, dash, and then unfreeze frame.